Hello everyone, this is Grade 6, Module 1, Lesson 15, Problem Set. For this, we're going to be looking at ratios again. So let's start with question 1, and it says, the producer of the news station posted an article about the high school's football championship ceremony on a new website. The website had 500 views after 4 hours. Create a table to show how many views the website would have had after the first, second, and third hours after posting, if the website receives views at the same rate. How many views would the website receive after 5 hours? So we're creating a ratio table for this, and my first thing for this ratio table is I'm going to have the hours and views. And I know that it was given to me 500 views after 4 hours. So 4 hours, 500 views. I have to find it for 1, 2, and 3 hours, and then again at 5. So what I'll do right now is I have to figure out how many views there were for 1 hour. So I know that there at 4 hours, there were 500. So I need to figure it out for 1. So I'm going to take 500, and I'm going to divide it by 4. This will get me how many views there were at 1 hour, and that's going to help me out with the rest of these. So I got 125. And just because of the sake of space, I'm going to erase my work here because I want to try to fit this all onto one page. But that's how I would figure it out for 1. So I had 125 views at 1 hour. That means for 2 hours, it's 125 times 2, which is 250. And then at 3 hours, 125 times 3. So that'll give me 375. And then I need it for 5. So 125 times 5. So really what I'm doing is I'm multiplying the number of hours by 125 to get my views. That's going to help me with number 2, which says, write an equation that represents the relationship from problem 1. Do you see any connections between the equation you wrote and the ratio of the number of views to the number of hours? So we'll get the equation written. And I know in order to figure out my views, which is V, I had to take the number of hours, which was H, and multiply it by 125. So 125H, or 125 times H, or H times 125 will equal V. And this can be written in a bunch of different ways. So I could write V equals 125 H, same thing, just I know that I'm taking the number of hours and multiplying it by 125 to get my views. So 3 says, use the table in problem 1 to make a list of ordered pairs that you could plot on a coordinate plane. I'm going to put the ordered pairs right up here in number 3, and it's just this will be my X, hours, and views is going to be my Y. So my first ordered pair is 1, 125. And I'm going to put it in parentheses. So that's my first. My next one is 2, 250. That's a comma. Then 3, 375. So you see that my column here is my X coordinate, and my column on the right is my Y coordinate. So I have 4, 500, and then I have 5, 625. So we're going to go on to the next page to do this graph, the ordered pairs on the coordinate plane. So I'm going to bring those coordinates over with me, and I have to make sure that I have my label my axis and create a title for the graph. My graph is just going to be website hours and views, and then I'll do my stuff over on page 2. But I'm not going to come back to page 1, so just make sure that you take a look at 5. I'm going to leave that one to you to predict how many views there would be for 12 hours. And there's a bunch of different methods that you've used, and then also we can check that out pretty easily with the equation here. It's 12 hours, so if you plug in 12 for h and do 125 times h, that's going to give you your answer. So 125 times 12. So let's go to page 2 and take a look at this. And here we are on page 2, and we're going to take this graph paper and create a chart or a graph based around my coordinates that I created. And I brought those over with me. So the first thing I have to do is label my x and y. So there's my x and y, and then I want to label what is going to go on the x and y. And I'm going to do hours on the bottom, and then I'm going to do views on the side. And I probably should put number of views, number of hours, and I'd write that in there as well in word form. So now I'm going to do views. I'm going to skip a little bit around. I only need to get up to 6, so I'm going to go every 2. And so there we go. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 right there, and then up the side. Each one is going to be 25 for me, so I'm going to label on the hundreds. So it's 25, 50, 75. There's 100. There's 200. There's 300. There's 4. There's 5. And there's 600. I know that's the highest I need to go. The only other thing is my title before I start going through this, and it's just going to be website hours and views. And there's my title up top there. So now I'm going to start graphing these. So I got to go over 1 on the hours, and then up 125. So there's my first point right there. 2 is going to be over to 2, and then up to 250. Should be right there. 375. So right about there. 4 goes up to 500. So right in there. And then 5 is 625, which is going to go all the way to the top. Right, 625. So right there, top of my graph. So there's my points that I put in there. Now I can connect those with a line and kind of run that line straight out to predict for number 5. I could also use the equation to help out with that. A lot of different things that I could use, but I wanted to at least get the graph in there. So hope this helps. Thanks for watching, and good luck on the rest of your problem set.